Hello and welcome everyone to the May 29th episode. Is it already May 29th?
Gosh.
Ooh.
Of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the city of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics and noteworthy news delivered to you every week. I'm your host, Jim Lopez, and today I'm joined by two members of our podcast team,
Kate Ryan.
And David Wolbrecht.
as well as our special guest,
Gena Jain.
Nice.
The one that needs no introduction, but has to introduce herself.
You don't really even need an introduction.
Old hat now.
Gena
that's
Jain,
right.
well, for us, it's podcast star.
Right.
Gena Jain.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
We're going to talk all about
Oh, we're
water
going to talk
We're
a
going
lot.
to talk. We're going to talk.
We're going to talk a lot, Jim.
We're going to talk about water conservation
Nice.
because you are an education and outreach
Coordinator. Yes, exactly.
I was getting it. I was about there.
Environmental, in fact.
Environmental.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah. There's a qualifier.
Yeah.
So,
You got to put the qualifier in there. And I think, as we were saying before the show, podcast star should
Indeed.
be in the
Yes.
job description.
100%.
So before we talk about all that conservation stuff, what are you doing for fun these days? Snowboarding?
yeah.
Conserving what? No. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
conserving, always. No. Yeah, getting outside,
Yeah.
biking.
Nice.
We have our bike chat. I did the bingo card.
Oh, yeah. How'd it go?
I still have a couple days to get my.
Yeah.
I'm
All
going
right.
to get like 2 bingos, but
Ooh, nice.
I realized I was a bit too all over the board.
not
You
very
need to be strategic.
Yeah, I was just so excited. I was like, I'm going to fill this whole board. And then I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. it can be a lot.
Yeah.
Now, you riding an electric bike?
Yeah, pedal assist.
Pedal assist?
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
feel
That's
like
the way to go.
the hills over here. I mean,
Yeah, it's quite hilly over this part of the country.
The hills
Yeah.
are not insignificant.
It's true.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like one less deterrent. I'm
Yeah.
like way more
Yeah.
likely to just,
There you go.
like, yeah, I'm going to go for a real long bike ride.
Right.
Have
With a
you
little
ever
help.
have you ever biked across the bridge?
Yeah, I did that as part
Nice.
of the bingo thing. Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, I went over and had lunch.
Yeah,
in
that
Seattle.
sounds like an event not to be missed.
Sweet.
That is awesome.
It was.
And speaking of events,
Nice.
and while you're eating lunch, you're going, this is a win. I'm out doing
Yeah.
athletic activity.
Mm-hmm.
You
Nice.
just feel great.
Feel great.
And and it was like a sunny but not too hot day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
perfect.
I think May being bike everywhere month is just
Helps.
Spot on.
spot on.
We had a podcast on that.
Yeah.
Swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Gena. We're excited to hear all about water conservation and all the tips you have for us and rebates,
Heck yeah.
ways to save money and water.
Yep.
Ah,
Wow.
there you
Probably
go.
win-win.
Twofer. Yeah.
It's a win-win. Good for everyone and good for the planet.
There you go.
Nice.
But before we get into all of that, here's what's going on this week in Kirkland. Juanita Beach is reopened, everybody, to swimming. Kate, you have more information for us.
Yeah, so Juanita Beach closed to swimming after last week's test showed high bacteria levels. King County tests our beaches for bacteria levels each week during the summer.
Mhm.
This week, when they were out testing, the bacteria levels were back under the threshold.
Oh,
so
that's good.
they recommended we can reopen Juanita Beach. For more information about beach closures, including their statuses, you can go to kingcounty.gov/swimbeach. And we'll
Nice.
have that, each week too.
Mhm.
Yeah, be sure to
Absolutely.
check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good information to have and very timely.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of,
Yeah, feeding ducks and geese might seem sweet, but it's not good for them or our parks, David.
Yeah. So speaking of beach closures for the swimming areas, last summer, Houghton Beach had to close repeatedly due to E.
Yeah.
coli from goose droppings. And there were reports from neighbors that there was a lot of folks feeding
Yeah.
the geese. And,
Yeah.
and so
Right.
we think
Don't want
that,
to do that.
we think that contributed to it. Not only that, but human snacks also can actually harm birds' health.
Yeah.
So instead, enjoy wildlife from a distance, teach kids not to feed ducks, and always clean up leftovers.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, Kirkland's 4th of July parade is just around the corner.
We just keep saying that, and I'm like, is it? And then it is.
is.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's going to be a big one. Honestly, it just seems so like we just had the 4th of July.
Oh.
I know you blink
That's
and
how fast,
it's,
huh?
Fourth
we're
of
doing
July
it again.
and it's so exciting. And we're really hoping everybody gets involved because thousands and thousands come and attend our amazing event.
Mhm.
That's
So, Kate,
right.
how can people get involved?
Yeah, and we keep talking about this because we want people to join us. We need volunteers for fun, fast shifts. You can sign up for many different roles. Check it out on our webpage. And if you're a club, business, community group, whatever you socially gather as, we want you to be in the parade. So whether you juggle, dance, want to walk together, we're looking for creative entries.
Wow.
And we were very impressed last year
Yeah.
by the superheroes.
There were
Ooh.
superheroes and the
princesses.
princesses.
Yeah.
There were like dancing horses.
Dancing
I was
horse.
just going to say, I like those.
There were like multiple like fitness center demonstrations on trucks. That was fun.
Yeah.
We had some like the high school sports teams.
All the baseball,
Mm.
softball,
yeah,
well,
definitely.
football, all the
Yeah.
sports teams.
Yeah. And a lot of folks just walking.
Yeah.
Walking together.
Mhm.
And
Waving.
there was some community karaoke going on. Last.
That's true.
Yes.
You can come see the This Week in Kirkland team.
and sing along to Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where we are out at the train
The train store.
train store.
Yes.
Very
Train
nice.
Depot.
Yeah.
What's-
That's right where we are. That's our spot.
Yep. Mhm.
So please come and join us and have fun at the best 4th of July parade in the country.
Yes. We'll have all those links in the show notes for you.
Thank you,
right.
Kate. On your marks, get set, not quite go just yet.
Oh,
But go ahead and save the date.
Yes.
Okay.
Save the date. One of Kirkland's favorite fall events is shifting into gear for September. David, I understand you have some details.
I do, Jim. So the 7th annual Kirkland Cadet Benefit Car Show is rolling back into town on Saturday, September 20th
nice.
at the Kirkland Justice Center. So it's free for spectators and a must-see for car lovers. It's got unique rides, live community vibes, and trophies voted on by the police cadets, police command staff, and the public.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun indeed. And so part of the reason why we're announcing it now is if you've got a car to show off, registration is open now.
Oh, you
So-
can bring your car right down there.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Participated.
register.
Yeah, all car entries receive a swag bag with a commemorative dash plate and could win one of 6 fun trophies.
Yeah, that sounds like an event not to be missed.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And speaking of an event not to be missed, the next meeting of the Kirkland City Council is on Tuesday, June 3rd. And here's what's on the agenda, everybody. On the business agenda, Council will consider adopting amendments to the Kirkland zoning code to implement state-mandated requirements for middle housing, accessory dwelling units, parking, and design review within low, medium, and high-density residential zones.
Wow, that was a tongue twister, and you stuck the landing
Yeah.
there, Jim.
Yeah,
you did.
Nice. So Council will also consider a new fee schedule for the transportation impact fees and will receive a special presentation on the state of healthcare from Evergreen Health CEO Dr. Ettore Palazzo.
And
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
nice. And council will consider options for a bike path along Central Way and Peter Kirk Park.
Yeah, and prior to the business agenda, during the study session, Council will discuss the transit needs study and provide direction to staff on the outcome of that study. So that
yeah.
promises to be very interesting.
Yeah, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And a reminder that council meetings are streamed live on the city's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and the city website.
So be sure to check in with those platforms
Mm-hmm.
should you miss the council meeting or need to see it twice.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, just
Follow
the
up?
reruns.
Yeah.
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 It's great.
Reruns are great.
Yeah.
A comfort watch.
Yeah. That's right.
Hey, we love seeing our community being active in all the walking, rolling, and biking around. And we've also noticed a rise in unsafe biking behaviors,
Ooh.
especially among young riders.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some information.
Yes. So, to parents and caregivers, please talk with your kids about the importance of bike safety. Kirkland police have received a handful of calls about youth on e-bikes weaving through traffic, which is dangerous for everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Some extra tips for staying safe: ride with traffic, not against it. Use bike lanes whenever available. Wear a helmet. Check for cars exiting a driveway. And obey traffic signals and stop signs. Bikes have to follow those too.
Mm-hmm.
So, stay safe out there, everybody. Safety's everyone's job.
That's right.
I went to get a bike helmet the other day.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was great,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
but I chose the helmet that looks like a skateboard helmet.
Nice.
It's a
Oh,
little heavier
okay.
than the
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's okay.
yeah,
You know?
nice.
Yeah.
I'm totally picturing the spikes.
the spikes.
Yeah,
are
like the dinosaur spikes.
yeah, the dinosaur spikes.
I would wear one of those.
Yeah.
But mine is smooth.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Nice.
it's like
It's more like a
shell.
Oh, got it. Not like a racer.
Ribbed.
Like
Yeah, it's not the
like
ribbed
with,
one.
Oh, right.
with
Okay.
big gaps.
I
and
went
stuff.
with. I thought it was fashionable.
Oh, nice.
You went with
It
that.
might be a little heavier, but
Yeah, hey,
Right.
you're not
Maybe a
fashion.
little bit of
you're
wind
not
drag. I don't
competing
know.
in anything, so
shocker. I
Yeah.
went with the fashionable.
hey, there we go.
Hey, it feels like everyone's out enjoying the sunshine.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
For kids, that often means sports.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
I thought you were going to say sunscreen. But
That
sports
too.
too.
It could have meant anything. Yeah.
David, what are a few simple but important ways to help keep our young athletes safe while they kick that soccer ball around?
That's
Mhm.
right. So over 8 million kids are treated for sports injuries every year.
Wow.
Ooh.
I had some sports injuries growing up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, it
Yeah.
happens, but there
Yeah.
are some things that
It happens. You mix it up.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Sometimes you mix it
Sometimes
out. I don't know. I'm just
sometimes-
making up phrases.
Sometimes the injured reserve follows.
Oh, okay. There you
You know,
go.
the list.
I like it.
The IR list.
Yeah.
So, as parents and caregivers, we can help by making sure kids wear proper gear, follow the rules, and never play when injured. And if you suspect a concussion, don't wait. Seek medical
Mhm.
care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
visit safekidswashington.org for even more tips.
Great.
It's really a great resource.
Yeah. So take us up on that. Make sure to use that resource.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Boating season is here.
It's
It is
Mhm.
upon us.
yes.
Yes.
That's right.
And whether you're on a kayak or a paddleboard, it's your job to know the rules and stay safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you're on a boat, kayak, whatever water activity you're doing, always wear a life jacket, avoid alcohol, check the weather, and tell someone your plan. Those are some good basic safety tips. You may also need a Washington Boater education card. So you'll want to learn more at parks.wa.gov if you're
Okay.
going out on a boat.
So we have some great information for you on that too.
I feel like I could use more education cards in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, are those like flashcards? Or are they like,
Oh,
was it more like a
okay.
little,
I thought-
like a permit
like
or something?
stacking your wallet with
Well, you're going to
education
have to
cards.
click the link.
Yeah,
David.
well, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
I can find out an answer to that.
That's right.
Natural consequence.
Where do you click the link to get more strength in your arms to paddle that kayak?
Oh.
Is there a
Yeah.
link to click on that one?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Well, I'll work on that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of upcoming events for you to check out, everybody. There's a recycling collection event coming.
Ooh, yeah. This Saturday, May 31st, Lake Washington Institute of Technology, recycle your old electronics, scrap metal, appliances, styrofoam. You heard it
That's
right.
right.
Styrofoam.
The much asked about.
The much asked
People
about.
ask a lot about that, don't they?
They do, yeah. You
Yeah.
can't recycle it in your normal bin, but you can come recycle it here.
Mhm.
Also, textiles, wood, paint, paper, shredding, and more.
That's a
Can,
lot.
it out.
can I ask you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it just me that finds an old laptop in every nook and corner of my house?
You're probably not the only one,
Yeah,
Jim.
probably not.
I can't say that I can exactly relate to your conundrum, but
I think I could just stack them up.
Wow.
okay, sure.
But here is the place where you bring them.
It's true.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. You can recycle them old electronics, including your dusty laptops
Dusty
from
laptop. Or
Mhm.
dusty laptops.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's got to be others out there that have.
That have
Oh, definitely.
a laptop.
Because, it's one of those things where you don't quite know where to recycle them, so they
yeah,
just
kind of like
accumulate.
hang. Yeah, you just hang on to
Mhm.
them.
Just
That's
accumulate.
true.
Absolutely.
They do.
All right, we also have a blood drive, Kate.
Yes, on June 24th at City Hall. Every blood donation counts, so we really appreciate people coming out. And the prize this time around is a 3-night pet-friendly Pacific Northwest getaway.
Wow.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to say it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the blood drives have the best gifts.
They absolutely do.
Definitely.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, this one's right up there.
3-night getaway.
3 nights?
Mhm.
Pet friendly.
3 nights is not
Pretty
one
fun.
night.
It's true. It's triple.
And it's pet friendly.
Hey, there we go.
So, yeah.
Come give blood, make a
Come give
difference.
blood.
There you
Get a
go.
getaway.
There you
And a
go.
reminder, everyone, that as always, we have links and more information in the show notes for all of our items.
Mhm.
And that brings us to our special guest. Welcome, Gena Jain, again.
Thank you.
Yes.
As we noted earlier in the show, Environmental Education and Outreach Coordinator
And podcast star.
and podcast star.
Mhm.
So, Gena, for those folks who may not know, could you remind us what your specific role with the city is?
Sure. So, like you said, environmental education outreach coordinator. So that means that really working in the community with businesses, with residents on
Yeah.
a lot of solid waste related recycling, compost, garbage chat.
Okay.
Mhm.
But
Nice.
I do get to dabble into the water conservation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. So
But you handle all the bins.
all the bins.
All the bins.
Yeah.
All the bins.
Garbologist.
Yep.
extraordinaire.
Garbologist extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll add that also to the job
Yeah,
description.
the job
podcast.
description.
Yeah.
We should do a
a little markup version.
Markup.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
because I have to say I had some trees like branches and stuff,
Mhm.
Goes in the bin.
and I put a lot of cut them up. They had
Mhm.
fallen in my yard.
Mhm.
Put them in the bin.
Nice.
It was like crazy heavy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. They got big trucks.
Mhm.
Flipping truck
Yeah. Just
took it right away.
Yeah. Oh,
It
sure.
was amazing.
Yeah. That's what they're here for.
Very
That's
nice.
what we pay them
Very
for. No, I'm just kidding.
well, fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's fair.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, this is heavy. Am I going to get like a?
an extra
There's a
fee.
weight
A
limit.
weight.
Is there a weight limit?
Yeah, 60 pounds.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it wasn't 60 pounds,
I don't know.
but it was like I was proud of a lot of work. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
love those bins,
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
and
And then when people call the recycle hotline, it's oftentimes you, right?
Yeah, they get to talk to me.
Nice.
Or email me. I love the recycling hotline. One of my favorite things that I get to do every day. Talk to people, answer their questions about where things go and
Awesome.
where they can
Yeah.
take those hard to recycle items.
talk a little bit about water conservation, why it's important,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what we should be doing.
Yeah. Well, as many may know, water is a finite resource, right? And despite the earth being made up of 70% water, only a teeny tiny bit of that is water that's potable or drinkable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in Washington, we've been getting less than the average rainfall and snowpack, which means
Yeah.
doing our part to save water helps to prolong our water supply and benefits us all, and is an easy way to save some dollars.
Yeah, because even though we've been getting
Nice.
less, we're still a water-rich part of the country. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe, just because we have so much water, we shouldn't take it for granted.
I think
No,
that-
absolutely
Mm.
not.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, we always get a rap for being, it's so wet here and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So it's like
Right.
we have it perhaps in our understanding or misunderstanding that there's just, Gena, to your point, that water's infinite. It's just like, whatever, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. But
It does.
it does matter.
And it depends on where you are in the state. Obviously, we're over here on the west
That's
side.
true,
so
yeah.
we have
Mhm.
a bit more water than,
Yeah,
the residents over on the east side of the state. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you do so much in terms of conservation and waste management. Tell us how water conservation intersects with your day.
Well, I mean, water conservation and resources that are used to make products, extract resources.
Mm.
Oh.
So even, the recycling water, it saves water
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you're not making these virgin products, right?
sure.
And even with like electronics too,
Mm.
there's a lot of what we call embedded water in
Ah.
manufacturing processes. And so really every time making sure that you recycle those items.
Tell
it
us what
has a
embedded
water
water
impact.
is. What is
Ah,
embedded water?
interesting.
It's just the water that's used to create or mine or whatever for getting those products
Got it.
made.
Yeah.
Mm.
So all of
Produced,
those
yeah.
laptops that are sitting around, those old.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even your
Notebook.
clothes.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
what it takes to, all the water that it takes to grow cotton,
Mm.
it
Mhm.
is, then you get your pair of jeans and those have an embedded water, the amount of water that it took to produce that is significant. And so
Wow.
that's why it's important not to just throw them out when you're done. Make sure they kind of get reused or donated.
That's a wonderful
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Don't
Yeah.
forget, if your clothing can be, if there's still life left in those clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
Or
if
those
there's not-
laptops.
Yeah, bring them on,
Yeah.
May
even-
31st to Lake Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right. That's right.
Right. And even if there's not life left in your clothes, they can go to the textile recycling. There
Right.
are other
That's a great
options
Ah,
for them. So, and Goodwill, Juanita Goodwill is a textile recycling
Oh, nice.
drop off. So they have a partnership with Waste Management. And so if you bring your clothes, even if you're like,
Wow.
no one's going to want to buy this, it's got stains on it, it's whatever, still bring it there because it will get recycled.
That
Oh,
is
wow.
such a great tip.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
don't be bashful about that
Yeah.
shirt, Jim, that you spilled coffee on so many times.
Those socks, David,
Yeah.
that have holes in
Them.
them. That you're
Yeah.
like, well, I
Right.
should just
That's
keep
right.
moving. Yeah.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
It can be recycled.
Yeah, waste management. It's like one of their. I was just at the Washington State Recycling Association's conference, and
Ooh.
Waste Management did a presentation about their textile recycling, which
That's
is
cool.
pretty exciting. It's pretty small scale, but it's a new, direction that they're going in. 'Cause,
That's cool.
Nice.
you know,
Yeah.
we want to put landfills out of business, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
And this is all, as we're talking about now, really helpful to our water supply.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, well, in that space, we do want to talk about very practically what people can do.
Mhm.
But in that space, maybe we could talk about some cool rebates,
Hmm.
programs where people can save water and money.
Mhm.
That's always helpful. And I think we have
Yeah.
a lot of them. And Cascade Water Alliance has a lot of them.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
there's a couple things. So Cascade Water Alliance is a great resource. Their website has tons of information to help you figure out how to conserve water.
And that's where we
Mhm.
get our water.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
And
like, who
they're-
is Cascade
yeah.
Water Alliance?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and we're a partnership of some other cities as well. That Cascade Water Alliance is basically the organization that then gets our water to us through
Right.
a contract with
Ah.
Seattle Public Utilities currently.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So that's so they help manage that whole how much water we get, because we do have a certain amount of water that is allocated per city and all of that. So but so it's in their interest to
Yeah.
help us figure out how to save water.
Yeah.
And some of the great things that they do is they provide these free water conservation kits.
Oh, tell us about that.
Mm.
Well,
okay.
you can
Let's open up the treasure chest. now.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. And it's this little tiny tab, and it's called a toilet leak detection dye tablet.
Oh.
They're like a dime or smaller than a dime.
Wow.
And you put them in the back of your toilet, and it will, if the water turns blue in the bowl,
Mm-hmm.
that means that you have a leak.
Oh.
And
Wow.
toilet leaks can really waste a lot of water, and that
Oh.
costs you money.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for your water, so you don't want
Right.
to be wasting any of it just
Mhm.
leaking out.
Yeah.
And so they provide these little dye tabs, but they also provide faucet aerators, which just kind of aerates the water coming out of your faucet, and so you
Mhm.
need, you're not using as much,
Much
but
water,
you
sure.
still are getting clean.
What does
obviously.
someone do if
Oh,
they
okay.
discover their toilet isn't efficient?
So that's the other thing, is on their website they tell you some tips on how to fix the toilet. Also, the EPA has resources as well on simple ways to change the seal or whatever it is you need to do.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm not an expert in it, but
But good stuff. They have
But there's a
resources
lot of
for it.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of information out there.
Now, can you also get like replacing your toilet if, say, you have a
Yeah.
really like old one that
Mm.
is
Mhm.
I don't know, very
Absolutely.
inefficient?
Yeah, there are toilet rebates when you replace an old toilet with the water sense labeled high efficiency model.
Wow.
And so those, and I know there's information on EPA about those toilets as well. And,
Okay.
and they, on there, it says leaking faucets and toilets are like 180 gallons a day they can
Holy
leak.
cow.
Yeah, something
Wow.
crazy like that. So,
Wow. Okay.
which let me just fact check myself. I wrote that down. And I'm like, is it a
Are
day
you
or
talking
is it a
about
week?
it per
It's
house?
180 gallons of water per day for like leaks in your sinks and toilets.
Jeez.
It's like
Wow.
just
Yeah, I
from-
mean, it's just
Boy, does
constant
that add
trickle,
up.
right?
A
Yeah.
gallon here,
Yeah.
a gallon there. Now you're talking about some serious numbers of gallons.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the WaterSense website too, the EPA just has like so much good information. But you can find out
Great.
about rebates on the Cascade Water Alliance .org website.
Nice.
Yeah, and those water conservation kits, they are free, so you just have to pay to have them shipped to you,
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
or you can see what events that they'll be at. They'll be at some of the farmers markets.
Oh, that's a great tip, Gina.
Yeah.
Because we
Mhm.
give them away.
Yes. Yeah.
So you go to the Juanita Market.
Yeah. Or even the City Hall for All.
City Hall, yeah.
Last year they were at
Oh,
City Hall
yeah.
for All. I'm sure we'll, have them this year again.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And then I think at the Harvest Festival one year we were giving out the shower timers, one of my favorites. We
Shower timers. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you time your showers?
Absolutely.
You time your showers?
Wow.
Mine and my son, we, try to average around 5 to 8 minutes in the shower.
Wow.
What happens when you go over? Is there an alarm that goes off?
It starts beeping when it's time's up. And when he
Okay.
goes in there, I'll put it on for like 5 minutes so he can kind of like play and stuff because he's 6. And then it goes off and then I'll be like, hey, time to wash your hair and your body, blah, blah, blah. And I'll set it for another like couple minutes. And then it's like, hey, time to get out.
Mhm.
There you go.
It should have like a voice that says, "You have now reached your maximum daily."
Or just like
Oh my
flashing lights and no, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Oh man, or like the debt clock and just like roll a
Roll it
gallon
back, yeah.
ticker.
Oh.
Right.
Now it's time to
Exit.
get into the day.
Time to
Go
get dressed.
forth and do great things.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little
See,
motivation.
I'm
Okay.
combining
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
water
get-
conservation and positive self.
Yeah,
All right.
affirmations.
Affirmations.
That's
I love
great.
it.
Yeah.
It's another.
You did well today. You saved water.
Yeah, water. Yeah,
Love
you-
yourself for
love
that.
yourself for that. It's an expression of gratitude, not just an alarm.
That's
Yeah,
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
What's next is I guess there are other types of rebates if you're interested in like upgrading to energy efficiency, like
nice.
Energy Star certified, because energy efficiency and
mhm.
water efficiency like go hand in hand.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
so
Mhm.
you're not only going to be saving money on your water bill, you'll be saving money on your energy bill as well.
Mm.
So that's so there are like clothes washing rebates, potentially $150.
Mhm.
But you can learn about
Nice.
these things from the Cascade Water Alliance rebates page.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Okay, what else?
Well, it's getting warmer.
Okay.
The sprinklers start going on.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And, we've got to be thinking about time of day that they're running.
Mm.
It's always best to have them set for early in the morning or preferably
Mhm.
late in the evening.
Why is that?
Okay.
Just to reduce the amount of evaporation.
Right.
Because the sun, and it also can cause scorching on your grass
Yeah.
if there's
Oh,
water
yeah.
droplets, because the sun is magnified through those water droplets, and it can cause your
Mhm.
grass to be brown. You're like, I just watered it. What's going
Yeah.
on?
So both
Ah,
evaporation and acceleration.
Yeah. So there's, there are smart irrigation controllers.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so there's rebates available for that, potentially $125. And it can help you with your watering schedules based on what weather conditions, which is really cool.
Nice.
I love how techy
Super
that
smart.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's super techy, but if you have those irrigation systems, that's a real savings.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's well worth it, I think, because your water will be used wisely.
Mhm.
There you
And
go.
obviously, we're
Yeah.
going to have all this in the show notes
Mhm.
Yeah.
so people can
Check
point
it
and
out.
click.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, Gena, I think we have talked about the Yard Smart program on the podcast before, but that's a
Yeah.
water conservation program too, isn't it?
Absolutely. Converting your lawn from your thirsty lawn to native plants and drought tolerant plants
Super cool.
is really
Yeah.
cool. And it's really great because there's, this free technical assistance for project planning. There's financial rebates to offset the installation costs. And the stormwater people are just some of the best people.
Well, we've had
To
them
work
on.
with.
We've had them on the
Indeed.
podcast before. Kate
Yeah.
Schmidt and
Mhm.
others.
Yeah.
Mm.
So much fun.
Yeah, they're great. And so, you can learn how to apply at the Yard Smart Rain Rewards page. on
I
the website.
consider all of you wonderful environmental outreach and education coordinators.
Mm.
Did I get that right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I consider you to be our very own environmental protection agency.
And like
Absolutely.
super team.
Super team. And
Yeah.
it's more than just the outreach coordinators, obviously. It's
Yeah.
the folks doing the work.
Oh, yeah. There's a.
But you're like our
lot.
own little EPA.
Mhm.
I love that.
What do you think?
They always love it when we say
Kirkland
that.
EPA, the
Yeah.
Keepa.
The keeper.
Ooh.
Keep us around.
The keeper.
The like keeping us environmentally sound.
sustainability.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I
I
like
think
that.
there might be a T-shirt in there, Gina.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
We love a t-shirt.
Okay, so we do 2 here at the TWIC podcast, and we have them
Yeah.
timely topics and noteworthy news.
Yep.
That's
We'll
true.
be giving away at City Hall for All.
Oh, I should order more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's so good to know that you give those kits away and whatever else you can give away at City Hall for All,
Mm-hmm.
because people, a lot of people go to that event, and we've had a lot of success there. Like we gave away a lot of shovels one year.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
all the
And
shovels.
rakes.
Rakes.
That was a thing
Yeah.
Yes.
last year, maybe.
So City Hall for All is another place where we tell you about the rebates here on the podcast. Come to City Hall for All and get a
Get-
rebate or a
kit.
giveaway.
Yeah,
Kit.
totally.
Mhm.
So Gina, are there educational programs or workshops?
Yes, absolutely. Once again, Cascade Gardener Program. So they offer free classes on sustainable landscaping, rainwater harvesting, and efficient irrigation.
Very good.
Rainwater harvesting is really cool. Collecting that water that's hitting your roof in a cistern. So then use it to water your garden. It's
And
really
you
great.
learn about that in the
Nice.
Gardener program?
Gardener.
Yeah.
Do you learn? Can't help myself.
Yeah.
But you know of what I speak because you're from Vermont, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They talk like gardeners up there, don't they? The gardener?
What?
No, not really. Maybe not.
There's some of that. There's some of that.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Be like, we know how to be gardeners.
Nice.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's so great.
absolutely.
Well, yeah,
Lots.
well timed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate being able to share some of that because, like I
Yeah.
said, it's so important to us to really like think about the way we impact the water supply and the usage. And if we're able to reduce our use, it's a win for everyone.
There you go. I like that small
Nice.
actions can have big impact. That's great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you guys are espousing that every day. You're always out there talking about things big and small that people can do.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've covered the rebates, the rain gardens, and the smart
Smart
sprinklers.
sprinklers.
That's right.
We just have one last question for you, Gina. If every resident in Kirkland could make just one change to protect our water future, what do you wish that would be and why?
That's such an easy question.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you for asking me that.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
I think one thing would be going to the Cascade Water Alliance's water use calculator and
Oh.
calculate your water use for your household because it gives you an idea of where you're at now.
Oh, what a great idea.
And then you can figure out how to do better.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you how many gallons of water you're averaging use per day, per month, per year.
Oh, wow.
And then you will learn some opportunities of like, oh, well, if I replaced this toilet or took a shorter shower, where does my water go from there? So, it's always, I'm a data person, so I'm like, know where you're starting from
Yeah,
so that
it's
you
great.
can know how you can do better.
Yeah.
Information is
Yeah.
power.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great tip, too, because as you're being strategic to conserve water, you're going to save money.
Yeah. And I'll say that the
Right.
Should be
average
anyway.
American uses 300 gallons of water per day.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And I did this morning, I actually went on the calculator and did it for my son and I, and we're at an average of 500 gallons per week. So not too
Okay.
bad.
Whoa.
I mean,
I think you're laying down a gauntlet.
yeah,
I
that's
know.
a little humble
But
brag, but
remember that some of the water use, that's for your household. So I'm also at work, he's at school. So it's not like counting
That's
Oh, right,
everything.
okay.
But it
fair
does
enough.
give you
Okay,
a picture
yeah.
of when you're in your home because that's like where you have the most control.
Well, that's
Nice.
really
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
Shower,
Yeah.
toilet,
Dishwasher,
dishwasher,
laundry,
laundry.
Yeah.
sprinklers.
Lawn.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you get your numbers,
Yeah.
you can then create a strategic plan.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what we do here.
We do have a blog on Kirkland Conserves that that talks about just some simple water use tips,
Yes.
water saving tips as well. Check it out.
Will you come by and see us at City Hall for All? That's not till September, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Get on your
September.
calendar.
Please
yeah.
come by and see us at City Hall for All
Absolutely.
so we can give away some kits.
Nice.
Yes.
Gena Jain, thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, hey, don't forget to apply to be in the 4th of July parade.
It's going to be big fun.
It's true.
Big fun. And that does it for this week, everybody. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and
Share.
Special thanks to Mike Connor and Angela Brown for their behind-the-scenes magic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next episode is June 5th. Until then,
Stay connected, Kirkland.